Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36mm with candy pink, yes, candy pink dial. So in stainless steel, this watch, which was released as you see it for 2021, it's 36 millimeters in diameter. It is 11.7 millimeters thick. It measures 43.4 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip and 45.6 millimeters from end link to end link across the wrist with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This is a fun dial. Candy pink, and as you can see, bright and vibrant on the wrist. Now, I don't know what candy they had in mind. Could it be cotton candy? Could it be bubble gum? I'm not sure, but it is an appetizing sight as it would fit a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. So it's a wonderful unisex option, even as 36 millimeters is a traditional Rolex men's size. The watch is flat enough with a domed bezel that it will easily slide underneath a dress cuff. Taking a quick look at the watch, you can see that it includes a bracelet, oyster style, 3-link design, all satin across the top, polished flanks, and an integrated end piece to better join the bracelet to the case without showing daylight between them. Now, Rolex makes its own cases, clasps, and bracelets, and it makes its own steel in its own foundry. It uses 904L steel, which is more resistant to corrosion than 316L steel, which is more common in the watch industry. So 904L is more resistant to the effects of sweat and salt, which can eventually cause 316 to corrode. With 904L, you don't have that problem. So the bracelet does feature a little bit of a taper. Again, the outer faces are polished, and you could see that we have removable links fixed by screws on both sides. For the first time on the Oyster Perpetual, starting in 2021, we got the Easy Link tool-free adjustment system, which is a 5mm in and out adjustment that you can actuate without any kind of a tool. If you want more adjustability, Rolex gives you that too. There are 3 divots drilled inside the clasp, so you can use your strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet in the clasp. We have a beak and a hook system. You can see that the clasp is now polished internally, a little bit more upscale than the previous generation. The beak and the hook join together, so you have to lift and unlock the rather complicated latching mechanism to open this. It is not simply friction fit. Rolling over to the case, you can see it is graceful with handsome tapered lugs that are satinated on their hoods and polished on their flanks. We have a screw-down crown. It's a twin-lock crown in steel, 100 meters, water-resistant. We have a domed bezel that gives this watch a little bit of the look of the original bubble back. The Oyster Perpetual debuted in 1933, combining the 1926 Oyster water-resistant case with the then brand new Perpetual rotor winding system, creating the first modern format Rolex and arguably the first modern format sports watch. Now the dial, of course, and I can't get over this, it is called Candy Pink. It is a lovely pink lacquer applied in multiple layers to create a glossy, gleaming, deep shine. The logo, the indices, and the hands are all white gold, so they won't tarnish, oxidize, or discolor over time. We'll do a quick lume shot. As you can see, it features Rolex's signature in-house blue chromolite lume. And the watch does feature a hacking seconds function to stop the movement if you want to set it precisely to a reference time. Inside the case, Rolex manufacture caliber 3230, bidirectional automatic winding, 70-hour power reserve. It uses the Liga-formed Rolex Chronergy escapement, which, though more like a traditional Swiss lever, truly is Rolex's answer to the Omega coaxial, both in terms of tech spec and performance. The watch beats away at 8 beats per second, pivots on 31 joules. It is chronometer certified, but Rolex goes one better and takes the certified movement, cases it up, tests it in 6 positions, and attests that the fully assembled watch will run no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per 24 hours from the factory, hence this term superlative chronometer. Once just advertising spiel, today it actually has an objective basis. Now, the movement has an anti-magnetic niobium zirconium blue oxidized hairspring that helps the watch resist the effect of magnetism. It is braced against shock with a winding rotor bearing rather than the old 3130s jeweled staff. It also has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance. The watch has an overcoil hairspring. It is an anti-magnetic hairspring, but is also a handmade overcoil to better assist the watch in keeping consistent time in every which position, as well as during the COSC and superlative chronometer timing tests, so you get a lot lot when you buy a Rolex. Technically speaking, there's complexity and refinement within, simplicity, elegance, and immunity to planned obsolescence externally. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.